10 years ago, we sequenced the human genome. We know it holds the information necessary to understanding and curing many diseases. Because of this, we've invested hundreds of billions of dollars to understand how it works. Yet, even today, there's no place to see a complete picture of the human genome and our understanding of it. The information exists, but it's scattered and inaccessible in a way that is slowing down research. Let's see what this means with a practical example. So imagine you're a scientist working on leukemia. Well, what do you want to know? If you want a brief overview of the topic, you can go to Wikipedia. If you want to find lists of genes that are related to leukemia, you go to the OMIM database. If you want to see where these genes are in the genome, you go to the UCSC genome browser. And if you want to find leukemia drugs that bind proteins in cancer cells, you go to UniProt. Each of these websites is different and requires expert knowledge. This process is slow and inefficient. But this is how biology is done today. Not only are we wasting valuable time and energy, but we are preventing new discoveries. So this is a critical problem, and our team wants to solve it. Our solution is to collect all the information about the human genome in a single centralized web tool called Flume. With Flume, we want to make our understanding of the human genome easy to visualize, search, and improve. Flume will make it possible to build a high-resolution map of the human genome that's comprehensive, up-to-date, and freely available to the public. So this is an ambitious goal, but our team has the right expertise required to achieve it. So we're 4 Harvard students. Eric is a graduate student in systems biology. I'm an MD PhD student at Harvard Medical School. Our research has been published in the most important journals of our field. Ben and Billy are Harvard College students. Together, they built Harvard Class. This is an online course catalog that was used by a quarter of Harvard students. Every member of our team has more than 5 years of experience built in web development. We've all been programming since we were kids. We also have experience in biology, which means we understand the complexity of the problem we want to solve. We're passionate about Flume because it can have a huge impact, and it's also a very fun project to work on. So here's an outline for the rest of the talk. I'll tell you what Flume does, how it will impact biology, and how we plan to make it into a business. But first, here's Professor Doug Melton about why he wants a tool like Flume today.
Hello, I'm Doug Melton, a professor here at Harvard, and I have a laboratory of about 30 people that includes undergraduates, graduate students, postdocs, medical doctors, and we all work together as a team on a complex disease called type 1 diabetes. This involves trying to figure out how the immune system attacks a cell called a beta cell, and for us mainly how to turn stem cells into insulin-producing beta cells. This involves sharing information in real time with collaborators at other places. For example, some of our postdocs are working at the hospital, or even collaborators at other institutions. So having the ability to share large amounts of data of different types, of photographic images, of experimental results, is extremely important and very valuable. I know Billy, Eric, Adrian, and Ben quite well, and I'm very excited about this project. It would be extremely valuable to us to have a web-based data management system that allowed us to share information and ideas and analyze data together, rather than waiting until we have a group meeting all together every week or two. So I'm very excited about Flume, and I know for sure that we would put it to work right away for our lab. Thanks.
So how could Flume help Doug's lab? Well, a user in Flume can do 3 things. They can see the genome and its elements, they can search for relevant information, and they can collaborate to contribute new ideas and discussions to the information that's available. So to visualize the human genome, we've reinvented the idea of a genome browser. In Flume, users see a map of the human genome that they can zoom and pan like Google Maps. Once they zoom in enough, they start seeing elements of the human genome and important details, like mutations that can cause diseases. We've collected information from many sources and presented in a unified way in Flume in a way that's meant to be clean, elegant, and approachable. But beyond visualization, users can also search data in Flume. So we've collected all this data and we're storing it in a way that allows powerful new kinds of queries. Finding relevant information quickly is vital for research. With Flume, we want to reduce the time this takes from hours down to minutes. Flume will also let teams of scientists collaborate in new ways. So users can contribute new information to Flume, like Wikipedia. But unlike Wikipedia, when disagreements arise, multiple explanations can coexist and evolve in parallel, and eventually merge if a consensus is met. This essentially replicates the scientific process, and that's why we think this is the perfect workflow for scientific teams. And these teams could be anything from small labs in academia to large international communities. So with these features, Flume will have a huge impact on biology. We will change how individuals learn about the genome and how teams of scientists make discoveries. But our ultimate goal goes well beyond this. We want to apply ideas from crowdsourcing to build a complete map of the human genome. This map will be comprehensive, will be up to date, and will be freely available as a public resource. This public resource will inspire new ideas and new discussions that will lead to important discoveries. And while we're building this map, we also believe that Flume can be made into a successful business. Our main revenue will come from selling private subscriptions of Flume to teams that want to use Flume privately. This will allow them to control what data and what information they share with the public. We'll also sell enterprise contracts for custom features and support to academic labs and departments. Our two primary costs are development and hosting. To keep development costs low, we're starting with a very strong technical founding team. And hosting costs will scale with usage because we're hosting Flume on the cloud. So until we have users and customers, these will be very low. So with this revenue model, we're going to target academic labs in the Boston area as our first customers. So academic labs typically hire grad students and postdocs. They each cost more than $50,000 a year, or more than $25 per hour. So if a grad student using Flume can save 2 hours a month, which is a conservative estimate, then we can price Flume at $50 per user, $50 per month per user. So at Harvard alone, this is a $2 million market. And in the US, it's greater than $100 million. The real market is even larger when you consider pharmaceuticals, biotechs, and labs worldwide. The main risk we face is not being able to acquire our first customers. So to manage this risk, we're going to use our personal connections with labs at Harvard and then spread in the local life sciences community. Roadblocks during development are always a risk, but by starting with a strong technical team as founders, we can reduce this risk. To make sure we're building the right tool for our users, we're going to validate our ideas with experiments. So we're going to test our user interface with Harvard students and labs. We're going to test our model for collaboration by organizing an event in Boston that will be targeted on improving information about a specific disease. To be successful as a business, we must be able to withstand competition. But Flume does more than existing tools. So existing databases are scattered and very hard to use. Wikipedia is simply not adapted for biology and not ideal for a science in progress. Finally, existing genome browsers are clunky and don't have all the information they need. So because Flume has a unique set of features, we'll be able to grow as a website. Once we've grown, we'll have barriers to entries that will prevent copycats. We will patent our data structures and search algorithms. And users will face a very high switching cost. So they'll be used to our workflow, and their entire work history will be stored in Flume. Finally, users will have networks of collaborations that they've established in Flume. And this is the kind of very important and relevant network that will that will serve as a barrier to entry. So this is our timeline to develop Flume in the short run. So in the next 4 months, we want to finish implementing our interface, importing data from relevant sources, and complete our search engine. At this stage, we'll start testing it with students. The next 4 months, we'll complete our collaborative tools and start beta testing with Harvard labs, improving based on their feedback. And then we'll want to transition these labs from beta testers into paying customers. A year out, we'll start scaling up our hosting, acquiring customers in the Boston area, and conduct a trial challenge to see how this works for large-scale collaborations. So this is our plan for the short term, and in the long term, we want to expand to labs worldwide, as well as reach biotech and pharmaceutical companies. While we're doing this as a business, we'll be creating this comprehensive map of the human genome that will serve as a useful public resource. Okay, so let me leave you with the most important points. Information in biology right now is scattered in a way that's preventing new discoveries. Flume will solve this problem in a completely new way. We want to crowdsource the annotation of the human genome. With our years of web development, programming, and experience doing research, we're the right team to do Flume. Finally, we absolutely believe that Flume can be made into a sustainable and scalable business. Thanks.